Okay. So, yeah, in this stream, we'll be looking into Rust. I have no idea what it is. I know it is a great language. So, idea is to explore it from scratch and probably do something very simple. Or maybe if we have time, we can also look into some lead code using Rust for some simple questions, maybe. So, if we get to that level, so I mean, because I have no idea, I think it will be. I have, I have known that Rust is one of the hardest language to learn because of its syntax. That I think if that's the case, then it will take some time to reach the lead code level. So, yes, yeah, I think I'm just looking for the guide for the for me to learn. I have seen that somewhere. I don't know where it is. I think it's the playground. Hmm. I did see this somewhere. It had all the basic things like get started. Okay, I mean, yeah, first we need, I'll just use Visual Studio. I will, what I'm going to do, I'll just create a new folder. Let's say basics. And then this, I can just open. So I think the extension for this is, first we need to have cargo, I guess. I don't know if I have that. I'll have this and my terminal side by side. Like this. Increase the size. If I have cargo. Oh, I have cargo. I think you can just do brew install or you can just run this, right? To install Rust. Let me just install this. Okay, it says it's already installed, but I'll just install it again. But what I need is, I need the documentation for this. Just give me 1 minute, I'll just pick up my phone. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I will just attend a call. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, Rust is installed. I guess we can do cargo now also. Yeah. So what is cargo? I think it's a package manager for Rust. Yeah, it's a package manager. Just increase the size. Okay. Yeah, I think this is I think so. We have everything here. From the basics, right? So we have from the hello world. So let's write hello world first. So .rs is extension. Let's increase the size. .rs is a extension. Let's say hello .rs. Actually, let's go to GitHub, my GitHub, and then create a repo as well. Rust basics. So we have to running we have to do rust c main.rs, and then we have to do this /main. Okay, I think it's kind of C technique in the sense we have to compile and then execute. So let's go to, did we do that here? Desktop, I guess. So let's init and then add our git repo. So now let's write hello. How do we write hello world here? So I want to write hello world. So this is the main function, fn, and the function name, I guess. So let's do main. For output it's print ln and hello world. Do we need semicolon? Yeah. Okay, so let's do rust c hello.rs. So there is one hello binary file. I think we can do /hello. Have a first hello world. So if we remove the semicolon, does it throw an error? Because in JavaScript it doesn't. Okay, I think here also it doesn't throw an error, but let's put it. So let's do and /hello, so that it's a single command, hello world. So is it like, so we have say hello and then this says hello, and then we can call that here. Does that work? Yeah, it works. Let me install the extension for Rust. Yeah, I guess this is it. Okay. Let's open Visual Studio again. I can't. That's not starting. The extension is not starting. It's still not starting. I'll come back to this, but yeah, this is how we do this print statement. And okay. Yeah, so similar to C, we have the main function. I think in Go also we have a main function. We don't have that in Python or JavaScript. So basically in interpreted languages, we don't have the main function. In compiled, we do. because Rust is a compiled, we have the main function here. Okay. Okay, what's the difference between println with the exclamation and without the exclamation? Second, println exclamation runs a Rust macro. If it had called a function instead, it would be entered as println. We'll discuss Rust macros in chapter. You just need to know that using a exclamation means that you're calling a macro instead of a normal function, and that macros don't always follow same rules as functions. So if I do just println, right? So does that? Yeah, it says it's not a function. I don't know what a macro is, but let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's say hello cargo. I think this is more on cargo. So how to use cargo to build and run. I think this is for much bigger projects, but I think I'll just skip this now because I want to learn more about the basics of Rust. Let's go with the variables. Okay, we have let. What are the variable when data types? Yeah, we have int. Okay, signed and unsigned. Okay, like can we do just this? So let s is hello, and can we just say print ln of s? Forgot to add this semicolon and a semicolon here. Okay, so this only prints a string, and okay, so how about this? No. Yeah, so we have to do this. We have to print a string, and then we have to put this, I guess. Yeah, so it says hello, but it gives a warning that this has not been used, this function. That's okay. So we can also specify the type by saying colon. I think Python has this, I don't know. So I can just say this as string str, I guess. Is there a string type? There's a char. So we do have char. Okay, char is 4 bytes. Usually char is 1 byte, right? Okay, so with just 1 byte we can't represent this. So this emojis and all, or some other characters or some other languages. So 4 bytes accommodates all of that. So this is tuple. I want to see how do we do string. Is this possible even? So what about this? Yeah, this is okay, but this isn't okay because it's an array of characters. How do you define an array of characters? So let's do string in Rust. Okay, we have to do std string standard. It's in standard. Okay. Okay. I think we can just do this. And if we compile this, it says hello. That is okay. So we have arrays. So we have let a is 1 2 3, and we can do okay, we have to add semicolon. I don't think we can't skip that. Unused variable. So if we don't want to use it, we can, I guess, do underscore to remove the warning. Yeah. So if I do this and then if I do println of a, how is that going to work? Yeah, still we need to do this. About a of 0. Yeah. So can we get the type? So we do need a loop maybe. So we know that we can do strings directly and we can do integers or anything, which is okay for our case, at least for the first part. We do have, okay, if I try to say that a of 0 is equals to 100, and if I try to print this, a is declared as not declared as mutable. Okay, so this is immutable. How do I declare and mutable where Rust? Okay, I have to say mute here, which is mutable. Yeah. So if I say instead of this, if I put it as tuple, then yeah. So we have to do a dot 0 there. Yeah, tuple, because okay, maybe what's the difference between an array and tuple? Okay, arrays can have multiple values of same data type. Tuples can have multiple values of different data types. Yeah, that makes sense. So what they mean is, you can only have type, let's say let mute b is equals to 1 2 3. I can also do this, but you can't do that in tuples. I think you have to do this. If I say how do I do floating? F32. Hmm. So this is similar to Go, I guess. In Go, it's exactly the same. There is no parenthesis, but it's we can compare it like this. You have to put this as mute or mutable. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't say because it's not 1 bit, it's 100. Yeah. That's if else. And okay. Yeah, there you go. We have loops. This is a while loop, right? Okay, loops do return values here. So let's say loop dot rs. Have main. So now what can we do is we want to run a loop. So I'll say loop println and loop. Let's actually run this. Hello loop.rs. So it has infinite loop. So let's add a counter here. Counter 1 and counter plus plus. And so if counter is equals to 3, break let's say 300. Okay. How do we break? Expected this but found integer. What does that mean? Do they want to just say break? Oh, we have to mute this. Okay, so because we're not accepting anything, I guess. If I say let result is this, and now I think we have to return, right? So now we can say 300, I guess. 12. Okay. Yeah. Now I can do this. I mean, this is weird. When printing this, we have the break. So we do have a loop, and it's actually quite nice because this being a compiled language, we do have some restrictions. Because if we remove this part, so basically the loop adds the loop for it loops through the block, and then when we are breaking the loop, we can actually return something. And let's say we are returning here and we are saying breaks x, we have to receive that. So if we don't receive this, it is going to throw an error because we are no, even if I do this, then why did it throw an error? So okay, so if we can do this, or we can, I guess we can do break as well. Yeah. But if we receive and do this, we can print it. So how do we get? Another thing is for loop. I want the for loop. Okay, we do have while loop. We can go through the index of each element, but I don't think we have for x in the array. Yeah, we do have that for element in array. So let's do that. Let's say r is equals to 1, let's say 100, 200. So for l in r, print ln oops, l, I guess. I'm forgetting some semicolons. Yeah, so it prints out 100 and 200. So I think we can put anything here. So yeah, L 100, L 200. Oh, okay, we could do this. Instead of doing this, can we do this? Yeah, I could do that. So maybe let me just open the, let me have the chat with me if anybody is saying something. Chat with me if anybody is saying something. Chat with me. Oops. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so today, yeah, we're going Rusty. Yeah. So Rust is a bit different than I have expected because I thought it's going to be much. I think I haven't dived into the standard library as of now. So this is all built-in libraries we are using. Still, I haven't gone into this. Where is it? Yeah, the standard library. I think that should be a bit confusing because there are pointers, I think. Okay, so we do have in range. So if we say for x in 1 to 50, okay, let's say 20, is that it? I think we can do x here. I guess should run this. No. Okay, 2 dots. Yeah, so it goes from 1 until 19, so it doesn't take 20. So for comments, I think it's the same thing. We have similar to C or Go. We have functions. I want to see parameters. Yeah, so function parameter. So I'm seeing how do we pass a string. So let's write a function. I want to say hello for someone. Let's say YouTube or Twitch. I want to say hello. And the arguments should be, let's say, name. So if the name is U32, let's say, we can just print it directly. The name. Right, so and if I send 100, it should say 100. But if I send, how do I send a string as argin function rest? So yeah, we have to send it as, okay, so because, okay, so char takes up one let's say address space, right? So this is one address space and char takes up one, so we send this directly. So in the case of strings, it's going to be multiple like this. So what we can do is we can send the pointer to the first block or the byte, and then because it's a sequential thing, it's going to have the length of the string, and it'll just calculate the rest of the bytes, and we can have the variable like that. I guess that's what's happening. I can say str, and I can say twitch here, I guess. Yeah, so we want to say hello Twitch. Yeah, so str is a keyword again for string, and we can't use just str, I guess. We could use a standard library as well, string from. Oops. No, I'm not ignoring. I was just looking into the chat as well. Yeah, I was actually using println as for everything, and string. Yeah, I was looking into that as well. So this one, right? What's that? Oops, I closed my browser, I guess. Yeah, this. What's the key? So this string. So do I need to import this? Okay, I'll just try this. So Santine, I will just try. What does to own do as well? I don't know what it does. I'll just try that. Where's this? To own, right? What does that do? Actually, let's print. I have no idea what it's going to do. Let's just try. No, I'm going to just search this. Okay, it's like converting from str to string. Right. Got it, yeah. Yep. Okay. So if let's say s is a string, and let's say it as Twitch, I guess this should be printed, right? Oh, it says it is printing. So we can do let's say ss of type string, and it's equal to s.toOwned, and if we print ss, yeah, so this is of type string and this is of type str. Yeah, so and yeah, I think we can do the same thing, right? So we can do this here, and we can just say ss as well. I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah. How do you see the type? I mean, yeah, I think if it throws an error. If I put str here, it should throw an error, right? That turns. I guess that's most of the function things. So what is this? Okay, so you can declare a variable like inside a block. So basically that should evaluate to something. Let's try this. So if I say let y is equals to, let x is equals to 100, then I can say x plus, let's say 12, and if I print y, that should print 1 1 2. Okay, here as well, and here. Okay, I'm forgetting the semicolons. So this should not, the return statement basically shouldn't have the semicolon. So what if we don't have this return statement itself? Will it throw an error? Yeah, it should. Okay, so it is throwing an error in the print statement, but it isn't throwing here. So which means we have to see the variable which is being used and how it is being declared. So we can run an entire function inside this block just to declare a variable. Then is it, if I want to return something, let's say instead of printing this, I want to return this. How do I do that? Can I do this? How do I return? Hi Code Modion, how are you? Yeah, right. Okay, so right here in this thing. So should I use the return or should I just do simply like what we have done here? I don't know. I have no idea about this. I think I have to Google this. It's yeah, I think okay, return, let's say result which is of type string. I don't think this is string, this is str, is equals to this, and if I print ln this, that should print. Okay. So how do we add this? So I think this is written. This is not formatting this. Can we use println itself? I don't think so. So in Golang we do have fmt.sprintf. I don't know if we have something of that kind here, like formatting and returning that. Okay, we have to use format. Right. Let's try that. And then this should be string. Yeah, that works. Okay, so format returns is type string. Right. Okay. So I think that's about return. Yeah, they are using this. I haven't seen this. So here they are not returning this, but they just okay. They're just doing this. So do we not need the return statement? If I remove this. Okay, the one without the semicolon is a return statement, I guess. That's what at least I'm seeing. Okay, so you're saying the string type because we are passing that, right? Got it. So next, so yeah, functions is pretty straightforward except for the returning part. Mutability didn't know until so whatever I'm doing this here, I don't think it is mutable, right? Until I do this mute. So that's one thing. Okay. Okay, let's use a standard input output. I'm just looking into the input output thing, like what all things are there in this. So to use a package, we use a keyword use. Let's do that. So let's have a main function again, This time let's use stdio. uh yeah, because they have like um they have like pretty much basic things only, so I wanted to know something before they had something. So they had this guessing game, but before even going into that I wanted to know all about the data types, because I don't even know what the data type is. So I can't create a guessing game, right? I mean, at least for me it's very ambiguous. So that's the reason I wanted to go into data types, and then I went into control flow, because I mean it was just random. I just naturally I was going with my intuition, like what I wanted to know, and because this is all like linked to each other, right? So if I know the data types, I can then use the control flow. If I know the control flow, then I can use functions and all. So yeah, just the intuition. So yeah, so now I am at the guessing game. So in that we have seen this stdin. I'm thinking like how to use the methods inside this IO. So you call this IO, and then you have this. I think in C++ you have something this similar kind, the four dots thing. So we have stdin, and that in that we have read line, which takes an input variable, and so whatever we entered, that would be stored in this variable. Let's try that. Let's take name. Let name of type str, I guess, and it should be mutable. I mean, is it? It is io.rs, and yeah. So what I want to do is I want to do stdin and then read line. I want to read line name. I have to do this, and this is an underscore. So do we need to put the expect as well? This is a name. Okay, this should be string. Okay, this expect string, I guess. We have to call the new. I think this is like what we do in C++, but what did we do wrong now? Okay. This, we're not declaring a type, right? So so we can, I think, basically print this if all goes well. Yeah. So unused result, that must be used. So this is returning something or what? It's okay. Yeah, of course I don't know 5% of the data types, right? Because I don't even know what data types are there. As far as I've seen, there is U32, U64, and usually we don't do that, right? We just say int 32 or something, or even if we want bigger numbers, we go for long or long or something. Even in interpreted languages, we don't even use the data type. So this is quite different, and there are so many. See, I mean, there are so many of these types, and I mean, most of these we won't be using in regular days, I guess. I mean, as per the use case, I know, but I guess we might be using as per the platform we are building. And Yeah, I'm not using cargo because I don't know why, but that I thought I can loop back to that after some time. I wanted to start with just C first. I don't think I don't want to like set up something now. Um, so yeah, I think cargo is great for. It's a good practice, I guess. But for single programs, I get it's okay to use Rust. You see. Okay, so what's the guessing game? Hmm. So basically, we create a random number and we take input from the user and we compare that and we see if that's equal or not. And yeah, so for that, we need to do this. I think this is in the range of 1 till 100. We create a random number and then we compare that. For that, we need to use random range. This RNG stands for range, I guess. If I do that, and let's take a random number as well. So what does this return type? We don't need the return type, but yeah, we can just do this. That should give us between, let's do 50, not even 100, or let's do 10. And I want to read an integer. So I think I need to see typecasting as well, by converting from one type to another. What does this? So if we specify this type, I'll just close this. This is going to be the guess. This is the guess, and whatever we getting, let's say guess number. This is of type U32, and we're going to take that from guess. Let's trim and pass. So I mean, I want to compile this. Yeah, I need to install cargo. Let's do cargo. Yeah, I just saw that now. So like for even for basic projects, do you need cargo, or what's the situation when you're going to use Rust C? Just asking. If there was no error, it gets the OK value of the result. If there's an error value, it panics. Okay. Okay, then let's set up cargo. Yeah. So what's the version we have? 1.65. Let's say cargo. Hello Rust, that's a good name. New. So we have a folder created. Let's open that. Cargo.tyml. Yeah, so dependencies I guess we need to install whatever we need. Closed it. So I guess it will run the default file inside that. I mean, if we do cargo build, how does it get? Well, why isn't opening? So okay, we have a source folder and we have a target folder. So okay, if I do cargo build, okay, that builds. And if I do this inside target debug, okay, or cargo run, yeah. So let's bring this here. So how do we install a module? It's cargo check. Yeah, I do have autocomplete now. I think that's the extension. I needed to reload it. So how do I install? We don't have this. And where's this? It is rand, I guess. I'm not sure. I guess this is it. Let's see. Cargo add. I did install. I don't know if that's all. Yeah, I think we should add. Okay, so we have a random number. We have a guess. What's the error? dot expect let's print the guest number. So how do I run this? Okay, let's say 12. Okay, so we can say, okay, let's print this random number. Okay. Okay, it's asking for input. Let's say 23. The random number is 9, and we can see if the guest number is equals to, I guess, random number. Then we can just say guess is correct. Else we can say wrong guess. Let's say 3, 4 now. Wrong guess. Actually, let's cheat a bit. I think if it is possible, let's print the random number before itself. Let's say random number. I'm forgetting the semicolons, I don't know why. It's very long, I've been using this. So the random number is 1, I type 1, and it's a correct guess. Yeah. I actually forgot that we are reading from the line. So I was just typing enter, so it was taking an empty input. It was panicking. Use a match statement. I haven't seen this here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, we can match the number and then it's like switch, I guess. Something like that. Okay, let's try to match this. Match random number. And if it is equals to the guess number, I guess. Is it? But there are no. So that's the default case. If print ln wrong guess. This matches any value. So how do you match one specific value? Yeah. Wait, is it checking for types? Okay. Let's try this. If it is 1, then it's a correct guess. 1, it is a wrong guess. Hmm. Match guard. That's okay. I am stupid too. I mean, I thought Rust might not be that hard because I was seeing some basic, um, syntaxes online, but I was wrong. I was stupid because this is much. I mean, this is like right now. What I'm thinking is, why do we need such syntaxes? But I think the more you work with it and the more use cases you see, maybe that makes sense. But I mean, you can't ignore the speed of Rust, right? Mostly languages are being interpreted right now, at least for in this generation. I mean, each day there are multiple languages being released. I mean, hmm. Okay, guest.cmp, right? We didn't do that. Let's do just number.compare. So we want to compare random number. Hmm. So I have to use this, I guess. So this is exactly a type, right? I mean, so we need import ordering. Oh, let's just build this. Okay. Undeclared type. So we need to import this. If I do 10, you win. If I do something else, wrong is. So this is the default underscore and the type. This is a type actually, I think. I was thinking we have to supply values instead of, I mean, I think we can do values, static values, but I didn't think like we can do types as well. And I didn't know we have a type for equal as well. So that's where I was wrong. It's an enum, yeah. It's an enum, yeah. Yeah, it's an enum. And if I see the syntax, it's too complex, like the first time seeing it. I think we can do one more part or one more chapter. I'm thinking of doing structs, but I'm just thinking if that might be too complex. Okay, so Santin, you can tell like what can we do next? Which one should I take up next? Which might be a bit easier at least. I mean, I haven't followed the order from the start, so it doesn't make sense. Like I'm not in any order. Like I jumped to enums and pattern matching directly without doing this. But I guess this is okay. I know a bit of this. At least I think that. But I was thinking structs might be okay. Mm, ownership, okay. So is it a theory or what? Yeah, set of rules. Okay, so ownership is basically how Rust manages memory. So I guess in C we have to do it manually, and Java it automatically does it. Okay, so Rust has something third. Okay, memory is managed through a system of ownership with a set of rules that the compiler checks. Okay. Right. So I mean this is quite straightforward. This paragraph it says pushing to stack is much faster and pushing to heap is slower because we need to find the position on the heap to push to, but on the stack, because it follows order, we can just put it at the top of the stack. Yeah, I mean, we need the heap accessing is also slower because you need to know where the data exists, so we need a pointer for that. Function arguments will be on heap. Function local variables will be on stack. Yeah. Okay, let's see the ownership rules. Okay. So usually, I mean, in this they are saying that each value or an entity in Rust will have an owner, and they can be one owner. And when the owner goes out of scope, the value will be dropped. So the owner can have multiple responsibilities, right? Usually, let's say in Java, I guess the compiler takes care of that. It only looks for the scope of that variable, and it has nothing to do with an owner. Let's say an example, I guess. Okay, so this is a scope, and inside this, which is inside this, the S is valid, and outside this, it's not valid, right? Yeah, it's regarding memory management. Just looking into it. Have you read this? I think you must have, right? Yeah, I think this one is a bit like C++ because we use a double colon to pick up something from that namespace. Okay, so the memory is automatically returned once the variable that owns it goes out of scope. Okay, so in other languages like which has garbage collector, when this variable or this memory goes out of scope, it cleans it up. In some we have to do it manually, but in Rust, when the variable once it goes out of scope, then it is the then it is cleaned up. So in this case it's S. So when S goes out of scope, it cleans up the memory. Yeah, so instead of free, in C we have free, I guess. So here we have drop. Okay, I get it now. That ownership part. Okay, so what they are saying is we usually do this part in other programming languages, we are copying the content from S1 and we are putting into S2. So it's actually, we have, let's say this is of 5 bytes and it's going to be 10 bytes memory, these two lines. But in Rust, they are just pointing to the same field or the same memory location. For 2 does not look like this. Oh, nice. Because, so yeah, so this block of paragraphs, what they're saying is, um, so basically when we should clear the memory, I guess. So, so because this two of them are pointing to the same value, and two of S1 and S2 goes out of scope, then we do not have to free the memory twice, because that would be an error. It would basically panic, right? So when we are copying it, or when we are assigning S1 to S2, then Rust compiler marks S1 as out of scope and only takes in S2. So that happens with any number of variables or any number of lines. We do similar to that. Yeah, that makes sense. In order to avoid that, what they call as double, what was that? I guess double free error. I guess, yeah, double free error. Hmm. Okay, so we can't do this. So yeah, we can clone it. So you can use s1.clone. I mean, if I did not know that we have to use clone, and if I do this normally, and if I'm building an application, that might be very dangerous. At least if I don't have someone who knows Rust. Yeah, it's pretty long, I think. We are at the end of this. Yeah, it's pretty long, but mostly it's, as you said, it's regarding memory management. So I guess I will stop after this chapter, because I'll make Stratson later for part 2. I mean, taking this in, that might take some time. I mean, I have seen the syntax already. That's okay. So this is different even for um, types, right? So we are giving 5, so this is known at compile time. So if we know something at compile time, then it's okay, because we know that beforehand. If we don't, then it's a problem. So ownership and functions, we have a string s, we call a function, s value moves into the function and is no longer valid here. S value was moved, nothing special happens, right? Right, so yeah, this goes out of scope when we call a function. makes sense. Okay. So basically, they're playing with memory here. So S1 is created, a string is created, and then it is give almost its return value into S1. S2 we create a new string, so new memory, and S3 takes and gives back, and it returns a string. So from S2 is dropped, and it's moved to S3, and this block ends. So S1, which had scope until now, it's gone, and S3 scope is gone. S2 scope was already gone when this function was called, because all we were doing was we were returning the string which we were taking as a parameter. Yeah, so we can't do this every time, because we don't want Rust to take ownership every time when we call a function. So that's what references are for. So I think we can use references to avoid that. So I'll stop here, I guess, because this is so much to take in. I mean, it's actually quite interesting regarding memory management, and now that I have known this, I'll be seeing this from different perspective, I guess. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I do that most of the time. Everyone does that. I mean, we don't read documentation. Like, we will go with the flow, and whenever the need arises, then we just check the documentation. We just need to know how to read the documentation, I guess. That's a very important part. So yeah, I think I will end my stream. I think it's 12:40 here. And yeah, really thank you for being here, Susantian. I guess, yeah, I mean, you seem to know Rust, but yeah, I guess you might have not used it regularly. So I am saying Go, but I have not used Go apart from YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for being here. Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Susantian. Bye.